Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Vijender Singh Tawar, Associate Professor in English, and presently I have been posted at Government College, Gudha. In the series of video lectures, which is being prepared by me, today's video lecture is meant for the Class BA Parts First, Subject English Literature, Paper First, and the topic which we are going to discuss in this video is the explanation of the Kabir's famous poem, "It is needless to ask of a saint the caste to which he belongs." Actually, it is not a original composition in English by Kabir. It is the translation of Kabir's bhajan by Rabindranath Tagore, and it has been taken from Songs of Kabir, entitled Songs of Kabir, which was published in 1915 by Rabindranath Tagore. It included translation of more than 100 songs of Kabir. So it is one of them. Now let us come to our main topic. First of all, we should know something about Kabir. Kabir, it is said that some say that he was born in 1398 and died in 1448. Some say that he was born in 1440 and died in 1518. Means we are not exactly sure about his lifespan, but it is believed by one and all that he lived more than 100 years. By his compositions, the quality of compositions, he has carved out a niche for himself in the world of literature. This has made a permanent place for himself in the world of literature. He is one of the most influential personalities of the Bhakti movement. When Tulsidas, Kabir Das, Surdas, they dominated, it is said that Kabir Das is more, we can say, is quoted, most quoted author after Tulsidas. He is regarded as a great religious reformer, social reformer, we can say. His teachings are a blending of the elements of Islam with the ideas of Bhakti movement of Hinduism. He wrote many poems and songs and expressed his teachings in the form of concise sayings and couplets. Concise means aphoristic. He used to say what he wanted to say in the fewest possible words. He is known for his couplets. As a poet, his attitude is modern. He was an uneducated person, means he did not know how to write. So he used to recite his compositions. His compositions were written by his followers. Like other figures of Bhakti movement, he intended his songs and sayings for the masses, for the common people. These were written in Hindi and his teachings expressed in simple language. His poetry, which is full of intensity of his devotion and his sense of omnipresence of God, means God is present everywhere, contributed to the development of Hindi literature. Means he played he played an important role in the development of Hindi literature. He is the founder of Kabir Panth, a sect. His couplets are very popular and they are also included in the Guru Granth Sahib, the religious book of the Sikhs. Many of his songs were later translated into English by the poet Rabindranath Tagore. As I told you, Songs of Kabir, which was translated by Rabindranath Tagore. Kabir, we can say, one of the greatest poets of India. He was a mystic poet and saint. He is so popular that he is quoted frequently. His poems give off a marvelous radiant intensity. His writings have greatly influenced the Bhakti movement. He had enormous influence on Indian philosophy and on Hindi poetry. Kabir created timeless works, means it is universal in nature. His mystical and devotional poetry has been found inspirational by people of many different faiths. He drew imagery from common life and the universal experience. His poems possess an appealing simplicity. He tried to find common ground between Hindus and Muslims. Today, Kabir is revered by Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs alike, and his songs are loved by people of all faiths. The idea is Kabir was a great poet. He recited poems in such a way that it cast indelible impression on the people of that time, and he was respected by all the communities irrespective of caste and religion, that is by Sikhs, by Muslims, by Hindus. Kabir during his lifetime was a social reformer, religious reformer. He used to criticize all kinds of dogmas, etc. So he has criticized perhaps all existing sects in India at that time. He opposed dogmas, means anything which is imposed on you, both in Hinduism and in Islam. He advocated to follow Sahaj paths. He was against social discrimination and economic exploitation. He believed in the Vedantic concept of Atma, but he rejected Hindu societal caste system and Murti Puja. Kabir's legacy is today carried forward by the Kabir Panth. That is his followers. Ideological messages of his poetry appeal to the poor and oppressed. Means he was a great influential personality during his lifetime, and even his couplets, his compositions influence the common people even today. Now let us talk about the poem. The poem entitled "It is needless to ask of a saint the caste to which he belongs" is a hymn. Hymn means is a song, lay, religious song. It is a translation by Rabindranath Tagore of the well-known Jat Na Pucho Sadhu Ki, a devotional song by Kabir. It imparts, it gives a very valuable moral lesson. It teaches us that worship has nothing to do with the caste. Because anybody belonging to any caste can worship and can find God. People who belong to different castes have sought God and knowledge of truth throughout their devotion. We seeking God and seeking truth has nothing to do with the caste. What the poet wants to say is that if God does not give any importance to caste, then why does man make such a fuss about it? Why give so much importance to caste? It means that people should think beyond the barriers of caste. They should realize that all men are human beings. So we can conclude the present poem Santan Jat Na Pucho Nirguniya. It is needless to ask of a saint the caste to which he belongs, has been taken from Songs of Kabir, an anthology, a translation work in English by Rabindranath Tagore. This book was published in 1915 with an introduction by Eileen Underhill. It consists of 100 poems of Sant Kabir, who was a great Indian poet and mystic of 15th century. In this poem, Sant Kabir, a great social reformer, criticizes the caste system. According to him, caste system is a blot on humanism. In this century, 20th century, we talk of human rights, that there should not be any discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, sect, etc. So this poem conveys that message. It should be eradicated means be abolished, do away with. Due to this system, the Indian society has been divided into various sections. This is one of the greatest barriers in the way of the development. That is why the poet advises that one should not ask about the caste of saints. In the eyes of the poet, all are equal. All are human beings, so there is no difference between man and man. In short, here the poet raises his voice against social discrimination. The purpose of the poet is to establish peace, prosperity, and harmony. Now, as I told you, it is very short poem. So, what the poet says, it is needless to ask of a saint the caste to which he belongs. The poet has made it very clearly. As I told you, it is a translation. So you find a different kind of poem as compared to other. Actually, in Hindi, this song is very well known, which is composed by Kabir. जाति न पूछो साधु की, पूछ लीजिए ज्ञान, मोल करो तलवार का, पड़ा रहने दो ज्ञान. This you must have heard this song, and in Kabir, Amritwani, etc., you will find this song. This is very, very popular song, and it has been translated by Rabindranath Tagore, and this comes in this form. So the poet says that it is useless, it is of no use to ask the caste of a saint. Because the priest, there are 4 sects according to Hinduism: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So all the priests, that is, who belong to upper caste of Brahman, warrior, Kshatriya, tradesmen, businessmen, and all the 36 castes, all the sections of the society, alike in the same manner, are seeking for God, are attempting to find God. The idea is caste has nothing to do in the pursuing of your target. The target is seeking of God. So any person belonging to any caste can achieve his target, can do his devotion, religion, caste, they have nothing to do with it. Next again he says, it is but foolishness, foolish act, idea, to ask what the caste of a saint may be. It is also foolishness. The poet is emphasizing again the same thing. It is an act of foolishness to ask of a saint that which caste he may be. That is, caste has nothing to do with the achieving of God, meeting of God, worshipping God. The barber has sought God, barber, different caste, has also found God. The washerwoman, the carpenter, they belong to different caste, but they have found God. Even Redas was a seeker after God. Redas is also known as Ravidas. He was a saint of 15th century. He belonged to a family of leather workers, that he used to mend shoes. Mirabai, a Rajput lady of the royal family of Chittor, was his follower. The Rishi Saupacha, a great learned Rishi, who is referred in Mahabharata, was a tanner by caste. Tanner is a person whose occupation is to tan hides, that is to remove skin of the dead animals to make shoes, etc. They are different caste people. Hindus and Muslims, the poet has gone to one step ahead. And he says even the discrimination of Hindus and Muslims is not worth noticing. Both of them have alike have achieved that end, that is God. They have achieved God. There remains no mark of distinction, discrimination, and that after achieving that there remains no discrimination. What he wants to say, he wants to give a message that any society which wants that it should make progress, it should abolish all kinds of discrimination between man and man on the basis of caste, religion, sect, etc. And the poet has advocated this ideology, and he has achieved, and he has been able to influence the reader in a masterly manner. Thank you very